going on, Jerome's? It's a beautiful day to fire up another Vikings 7-round mock draft. Now, we've done a lot more thought and foresight into the picks versus just just running and gunning and just taking it, man. But this will be fun. So, of course, got to lay out the outline because that is very important to outline what's going to happen in free agency before the draft. It certainly changes things. Kirko extended on a 2-year deal. Justin Jefferson, 4-year extension. Daniil walks. Reisner resigned. Wanham walks. Jordan Hicks is resigned. Powell is resigned. Harrison pay cut. He back for one last ride. Then Xavier Howard and Justin Madubuike signed in free agency. So Kwesi gets after him, man. Basically, the money earmarked for Daniil goes to Madubuike. Xavier and Howard gets a little something, but not as much with him being a veteran. But the Vikings suture up that defensive interior and should be a lot of fun with that Flores defense. So that being said, let's dive on into this mock draft. So now, with Kirk back on a 2-year deal, likely fully guaranteed, you certainly could go quarterback in this spot, but I think loading up and giving Kirk as many advantages as possible is key. Now, part of that is the defense, where, I mean, you saw with the Chiefs this year, build up a bully defense, your quarterback's margin for error certainly does go up. So the Vikings, we're going to build a bully. That's right. So around the clock now, whatever happened, blah, blah, blah. But we are going to take an edge rusher because we lost some Daniil Hunter. We lost some DJ Wanham. So Laiatu out of UCLA, 6'4", 264, 21 and a half tackles for loss, 13 sacks, 2 picks, partridge in a pear tree, 2 forced fumbles, and a 96.3 PFF grade, which is good. It's actually one of those spots where the play on the field actually syncs up with the grade. It's crazy, man. But he is 23 years old, a little bit older of a prospect. Same thing with Jared Verse. But medicals, it's going to be big because he did medically retire after UW for a year. But the last 2 seasons in Westwood, he's been dynamite for the Bruins. Hendricks Award winner, unanimous All-American, high motor, and also very advanced as a pass rusher. That's one of the good things about being a little bit older of a prospect, a little bit more developed. And he's also solid against the run. He's not the lengthiest edge rusher in the world, and that could ding him a little bit, but he's a guy who's going to crush and a guy that, I mean, losing Daniil sucks, but Latu coming on in makes sense. So Latu, you're the next Minnesota fighting Viking. Now, you can never have enough dudes who get the quarterback, and with Daniil gone, with Wanham gone, and also, Davenport obviously long gone. So we're ignoring that McCarthy is here. I don't think he makes it to the second round. I doubt he gets out of the top 10. So in this spot, so Darius Robinson and Chop Robinson are both there, but we are going to go Darius Robinson in this spot. And actually, no, I lied. We're going to go Chop Robinson, one of the Robinsons. So the pride of Penn State, 6'3", 240. Now, similar boat to Latu in that he's not the lengthiest edge rusher in the world, but just a heat-seeking missile, a guy who's going to get after it. 26 pressures, 4 sacks, 90.8 PFF grade. Now, people will knock him because he didn't have the insane sack numbers, but he's kind of in a similar boat to when Micah Parsons and Adofo-Mensah came out of Penn State, where they didn't have eye-popping numbers. Actually, I don't even think Away had a sack his final year in Happy Valley, but he is a guy with a great nose for the football. And Demiyuan, we'll just call him Chop. Robinson, first step like Allen Iverson, probably the quickest first step out there. And, I mean, could you say he's a little bit Dwight Freeney-ish? Sure, maybe he doesn't have that killer spin move, but a pure speed rusher. The unique and the freak Ngakoue comps are relatively close. Got great bend too, perhaps the best bend in the draft amongst edge rushers. So I think Latu and Chop long term. I mean, that's a nice edge rushing duo coming on in. Also, you got Patrick Jones second in a contract year, plus you have Andre Carter the second in year 2. I mean, so overall, I think the Vikings are doing a really good job. Well, I say they're doing a really good job, but of course I'm making the picks in this spot. So now we're in the 4th round. Vikings don't have a 3rd round pick because of the because of the TJ Hawkinson trade. Now, we could go Dwayne Carter. I mean, Dwayne Carter is a lot of fun. He is a whirling dervish along the defensive line, but I'm going for size. I'm going for size and upside. McKinley Jackson from the Texas A&M University. He's 6'2", 331, 27 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and a 76.9 PFF run defense grade in College Station. Now, he's a player that you're betting on potential as well. I mean, Jackson is probably going to develop into a better pro than he was in college, because in college, getting by on pure strength, as well as he does have good feet. He does have a quick first step for such a large nose tackle, and Combine's going to be big for him because there's a lot of questions about length. He's sort of short and squatty. I mean, he may not even be 6'1". But we'll find out. But either way, I think that he would be an upgrade along the defensive line for the Vikings. I think he's going to be a great 2-down, 2-gap nose tackle. Is he going to completely dominate like his Texas A&M alum brethren, Pat Williams? Probably not, but could he be a modern-day nose tackle as well as provide a little something as a pass rusher? Yes, I think he certainly could. So we're taking McKinley Jackson. And so McKinley Jackson, as well as Chop Robinson and Leatu Latu, plus Madubuike along the defensive line. Let's go. Let's go, baby. We got a stew going. So in this spot, I mean, you could take Jordan Travis here because even though Kirk is on a 2-year deal, I mean, Travis certainly would be tempting in this spot. But I don't know, man. I mean, could take Christian Boyd, except we double down on we have the meats. Sure, why not? But I don't know. Like, initially, we were going to take Kalen King, except Travis, they're just chilling. I understand the drawbacks of Jordan Travis. And it's the same thing with Bo Nix. Like, I question them being able to push the ball vertically accurately, but underneath, Jordan Travis is extremely accurate. He's a great leader, and his draft stock will take a tumble because of that leg injury. But I think that, especially with Kirk on a 2-year deal, the potential of developing Jordan Travis, the potential of him competing with Jaron Hall, I think that's really good in this spot. So I think that this is a little bit too much to pass up. So Jordan Travis, you're coming on in. And also cornerback-wise, signing Xavier Howard does alleviate some of that need at corner because you still have Blackman, you still have Murph. That's a nice trio. And also, you still do have a Caleb Evans who is going to get benched 17,000 times, as well as Andrew Booth Jr. So, I mean, cornerback depth-wise, you're relatively good. There you go. Next. So, into the 5th round. Now, Cooper Beebe and BB accessories, I mean, is certainly tempting in this spot. Yeah, should we just do it? Yeah, we're going to do it. So we're taking Cooper Beebe, 6'4", 335, 90.4 PFF pass blocking grade, 9 pressures, 2 sacks allowed, 2-time first-team All-American, a 4-year starter at left guard, an absolute solid anchor, shortish arms. That's what we're doing. We're throwing all the analytics out of the way, and we're taking the guys with short arms. Leatu Latu, Chop Robinson, McKinley. I'm sure Jordan Travis has short arms too. Why not? And also short arm Cooper Beebe, who's not related to Chad Beebe, but we are getting some ass. We're getting some size on the inside. So Cooper Beebe, come on down, baby. That's right. Still in the 5th round, 157. So I'm of two minds. So J.D. Bertrand is there chilling. Also, you have Drake Nugent, and also you have Dylan Loeb. I wouldn't mind any of the three. But we are going to take Drake Nugent, and I'll tell you why. So, yes, we are doubling down on interior offensive line, and that's a part of it where not only are you rebuilding the defense, but you're rebuilding the offensive line in front of Kirk and Drake Nugent. So, he's like the inverse. He's like the inverse Garrett Bradbury, where he's 6'2", he's 301, so yeah, he's a smallish, lightish center, but he's not the insane outside athlete like Bradbury is, but he does have great anchor. He plays a great leverage. He's a very solid leader up front, so it's basically if you combine Drake Nugent's ass and anchor with Bradbury's mobility, I mean, you would have the perfect center. Like, you would have Jason Kelsey. You'd be good, man. But Drake Nugent, the pivot man for the national champions, 70 PFF grade, 9 pressures, 1 sack, led the way for that Michigan running game, just punishing fools, as well as protecting J.J. McCarthy, as well as it was initially at Stanford and then went to Michigan, but very high Q, smart leader. in the pivot. Also good hands, good anchor, good leverage, all that stuff. So Drake Nugent, welcome on in. Next pick, 166 overall. Our guy's there. Our guy, Dylan Loeb from New Hampshire. New Hampshire, live free or die. That's right, baby. So Dylan Loeb, 5'10", 208, 1,400 scrimmage yards last year, 15 touchdowns, and he's not going to be your bell cow running back, but he's going to be an offensive weapon. Think of James White. Think of Jerick McKinnon. Think of, I don't want to say Christian McCaffrey, but you know. But he's a guy that can be very versatile if Kevin O'Connell wants to use him that way. He was very impressive at the Senior Bowl as well. Definitely made himself some bucks. So Dylan Loeb coming on in with Ty Chandler and company. I kind of like it. Man. All right, so 2 picks left. 6th rounder, number 179. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways to go here. Milton, no. Milton's going to be a tight end. A.J. Barner, Cody Schrader, if you want to double down. Got the Russian champ there. But we're going to go a little bit deep. We're going to go a little bit deep on this one. I mean, Brendan Jackson is there. He's the guy that we always draft. So we're going to go Nathan Thomas. Tackle from Louisiana. Go Raging Cage. I don't know what it is with the offensive lineman from Louisiana. They just always get it, man. But 6'4", 334, a 2-year starter at left tackle, 74.8 PFF grade, 12 pressures, 5 sacks allowed. But he's a mammoth of a man, and he was going to be showing out at the Senior Bowl and Shrine Bowl, but did have an injury, cost him the bowl game for the Cajuns as well. But athleticism, power, leverage, hands like clamps. Now, could you say that he's a project in the same way that Oli Udoh was? I could see that, yes. But in terms of a developmental tackle and a guy who may have to kick inside, I think that the upside here in the 6th round is certainly worth it. So Nathan Thomas, you are a Minnesota Viking. Lastly, pick 227 in the 7th round. As we're going down in the earlier round. It's good. So he's right there. Now, I understand drafting 2 running backs. Oh, it's controversial, but it's 2 day 3 running backs. Shut your face. So Isaiah Davis, that's right. It's hard to describe him. Like, he runs like Maurice Jones-Drew, but he's not built like Maurice Jones-Drew, if that makes sense. But 6'1", 220, absolute bowling ball running back, 1,578 yards rushing, 18 touchdowns, 6.7 yards per carry for the national title winning Jackrabbits. Also 23 catches for $199 and a touchdown. Power, can run man, can run gap. Also, for a running back his size, 220, does have decent feet, is adept at inside zone, outside zone, reads blocks well. And the problem is, sometimes with these power running backs, they're just like bull in a china shop, almost Pacheco-ish, even though Pacheco, for all the wasted body movement he has, is actually a pretty patient runner. Davis has that as well. Plus, like I said, good feet, good hands. He's not a home run threat, but I feel like with a running back field of Isaiah Davis as your power back, Madison as your sort of jack of all trades, Ty Chandler as your scat back, maybe RB1, and Dylan Loeb as your whatever running back, where change of pace running back, receiving running back, wide receiver, slot receiver, do everything. I think that's a damn good running back field for the Vikings. And also the fact that they redid the offensive line to a degree and also definitely supplemented defensively. Pretty happy with how this turned out. So our scenario, again, Kirk on a 2-year deal, Jefferson extended, which is great. Wanham and Daniil walk, so that's a big-time need on the edge. Reisner's re-signed along the O-line. Hicks is back for another year at off-ball. Brandon Powell's re-signed as a wide receiver 3-4. Harrison takes a pay cut, and he's back. Xavier Howard is here on the outside. So Xavier Howard, Mekhi Blackman, as well as Byron Murphy at corner, and Justin Madubuike. I don't care that it costs $22 million per year. Madubuike has signed with the Vikings. So, recapping our draft here. And hence. That's close enough. All right, so in the first round, sticking and picking, Leatu Latu, medicals check out, as well as Chop Robinson. So your two edge rushers of the future are right there, baby. And Latu is pro-ready. Robinson's probably going to take a little bit of time, but perfectly fine with that. McKinley Jackson, just an absolute mountain of a man in the middle, going to help plug things up. Him and Matabuke on the inside. Also a little bit of Harrison Phillips sprinkled in there is going to be really good. Jordan Travis, I was going to go a different direction, but Travis in the fourth round I think is too much value. I think his leadership, his accuracy underneath is good. I think technique-wise could ratchet up some of that velocity at some of that deep ball, but overall, I mean, as a guy who's going to be ideally sitting behind Kirk for at least 2 years, competing with Jaron Hall, marinating a little bit, I think the fourth round, that's a great dart throw. Cooper Beebe and Drake Nugent adding some size with Beebe, adding some anchor with both of them. So basically, you have dudes who can walk the line and hold the line and move the line of scrimmage, which is great. Dylan Love and Isaiah Davis added to the running back field, as well as Nathan Thomas, another mountain of a man, added as a tackle project. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. So again, if Kirk Cousins is back on like any sort of extension, the Vikings have to build around him. They got to go all in. I think getting Matabuke as well as really going after it here in the draft to solidify both trenches is the way to go. But we'll see what happens. But that's it. 7-round Vikings mock draft. Let us know your thoughts. You guys always do. You're the best. Skull production value.